I pray, but I'm lost. Or am I just praying to nothing? Because you are not there.
With Martin Scorsese's Silence being released to home video and digital download, I feel an urgent need to explain why this movie is a masterpiece and worth every minute of your time, both during and after the film. And I mean that part about after, because this movie ought to stick to you if you commit to it. And I mean commit because this, like many masterpieces of cinema, are investments. Martin Scorsese is my favorite director, and that should be no shock to anyone because he is recognized as a master movie maker. But I think the main reason his films have resonated with me over time is pretty much summed up well by Birth Movies Death writer, film crit Hulk. Yeah, I don't know either. Who writes describing Scorsese as, quote, the master of the unguiding hand. He starts by simply saying that Marty will let you be wrong. It takes bravery on the part of any artist to present their work sometimes, and in this case, years and years of longing, planning, shooting, editing, and then simply saying this word to the audience: consider. That might be the most important word for me in my love for movies. The films that have challenged me as a viewer and as a person are those that ask more of me as a viewer and as a person, that require more thought and feeling. It's a greater investment, and you must pay greater attention, but with far greater return. Without a firm hand on the neck of our perception, Scorsese does not manipulate our opinions, but rather he lets us look around and inspect. And again, he just asks us to consider. Consider these men. Consider their resolve. Consider their love, their faith, their situation, their pain, their doubts, and then consider their considerations. There's just this unending richness when watching a film this way. I think that this can be traced back to Scorsese's roots and love for the Italian neorealism, which certainly had a message for audiences with a movie like Bicycle Thieves clearly presenting the nature of society failing its own morals. That movie never once asks us to judge the main character for his actions, but it also never tells us not to. It simply shows us this man and asks us to, you got it, consider. It's not unlike any brilliant piece of work from Scorsese. The Wolf of Wall Street. This movie, it's pure. It's purely letting us stare at a man's life and sensations without a single remark to the nature of its good or evil beyond what the main character himself believes. It's just pure courage. I could easily spend hours upon hours walking you through all of his work, Taxi Driver to Raging Bull, Color of Money, Gangs of New York, his Oscar winner, The Departed, to The Wolf of Wall Street itself, but it's not worth it for me to just tell you what his films mean or are about. I just want to ask you to take some time to watch Silence with a little more than just a cliched open mind. The great masters of cinema form together these shadows on screen to tell stories to audiences who pay admission to pay attention. I think the most boring movies on the planet are those movies that are screaming at their audiences. When I think of my worst movie-going experiences, they are often when the crowd just doesn't seem to care because everything is redlined to the max. It's in quiet moments of reflection that I feel the most involved in a movie. Let the story pause and then crash back into action. Let the narrative breathe when we've been feasting on ideas and vistas and choices and characters. Silence is a masterpiece of consideration. And within Silence, it's this mastery of not presenting any good guys or bad guys. It's not presenting any evil or good. It's just presenting a world. And it allows you to come to conclusions. It allows you to connect dots. It allows you to consider. The film means a lot to me personally. The subject matter, the style, it suits me very well. But what I am appealing to within you is not your taste. It's not a movie for everyone. There isn't such a thing. It's a movie for thinkers, for those who ponder, for those who question, for those who search out. It's not a movie for those who are waiting for the point of it all to just drop out of the sky into their lap. No one on screen is going to explain to you everything you need to know. Thank you, Martin Scorsese, for giving me the chance to consider with you. And I think that's why these movies are so personal to him as a filmmaker and as an individual. I can feel him asking questions of himself on screen. And we are there with him in the silence. Thank you for watching Movie. Please comment below your thoughts on this movie. And please, if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, you can buy it, you can download it, you can find a way. Please see this movie.